Welcome to News with a View, hosted by me, John A. Costa. This is a conservative-leaning podcast. I do take the facts from both sides, and if the conservatives are going with it, and it makes sense, is allowed under the good book, which is our Constitution, I'm all for it. Let it go. If the Democrats put stuff out that makes common sense, conforms to our Constitution and laws, and they want to put it to a vote or put it out there, that's the way the system works, folks. I'm for that. I'm a Federalist. Conservative Republican, not MAGA. Bob in New York keeps calling me my lie detector. Today is August 11th. It's been 8 days since I did my last show. I had really not been feeling well to the point of sitting here for 40 minutes and spouting off about the same things I'm going to be spouting off today. This would be episode 85 in my series for the beginning of the year. Please, if you are seeing this, leave a comment, like, subscribe. The topic of today will be the Democrats in voting. We have and we have a couple of Republicans out there today too running. The Wisconsin voting is the real nail biter for the Democrats. The Socialists, Democratic Socialists of America, the DSA, have taken some, New York. And now other areas, and the Democratic hopeful Hung, who is running for the governor of Wisconsin, seems to be the front runner since a lot of these other people kind of faded out. And the top runner who was going against Hung, she had to step out of the race because her financial manager mishandled her money and she didn't have any. So again, the Democrats just seem to keep stumbling over themselves. They just can't get out of their own way. And what now the Democrats are realizing is what people were saying all along, was that you invited these people, that party, into your party under the big tent, thinking that this is going to be a good thing. We'll work with them and convert them over, and we'll get them to take on most of the Democrat positions. And that didn't work. That did not work. And in primaries, you're only getting 5 to 10% of the voters who will vote. So if you have a very well organized primary voter push, your candidate is going to get on that ballot. And the DSA has done a very, very good job of doing that. The Democrats have done a piss poor job of getting the voters out, the moderates, to take the Democratic position. And so you have a lot of these DSA people who are now running and making, just unbelievable claims. we're going to get rid of the police, we're going to do this, we're going to do free this and free that. And you got Mandami in New York, who I solved the problem because Hochul, the governor, is funding all these projects with New York State money. And it's just unbelievable. And people aren't picking this up. People are, saying, "See, look, it's working." No, it's not working. It will run out of money. And what they're hoping is for that they take, it's like a battle. You take an island, you set up a beachhead, and you slowly move in and capture. And the Democrats they either didn't recognize it or this was their last hope. We got to bring these people in because they'll bring money in, and maybe we could siphon voters away from them. And it worked just the opposite. The Democrats should have said, listen, you want to have your own party? Go have your own party. But we're not going to fund it. We're not going to go in here and give you our expertise on how to do things, and then it's turned against us. And this is exactly what has happened. They have just did such a terrible job for their party while helping this other party, the socialists, who will, in the end, have nothing to do with the Democrats because they blame the Democrats and the Republicans for the alleged and supposed problems that the American people are facing. And it just made no sense. There was nothing in it for the Democrats. Can't figure it out, folks. And I'm going to tell you that the Republicans are praying more socialists win. Now, we knew in New York that, there's no chance of a Republican winning. We just didn't have the people, and no one wanted to go against the Democratic machine there, which pushed Mamdani. I mean, there was just too much push there. The city was in such financial and chaotic ruin, and is since COVID, since before COVID, it's always been a financial mess. That there was no one would survive that. No Republican. And, we're hoping that, Mamdani doesn't destroy it too much, that there's something that's going to be left. I don't get it. I didn't see what the point was with the Democrats pushing this guy. It was just like the Democrats are committing suicide, political suicide. What are they thinking? And in Wisconsin, which is Wisconsin is a socialist thinking state. I think they had one of the first socialist elections, back whenever in the day. Because it was a working class German state. And very liberal. But now the liberals are getting to the point that these aren't even liberals anymore. This is not liberals. A socialist is not a liberal. So let's not confuse that. The socialists are their own little breed. And it's their way or no way. So what is happening is that if Hong wins and has to go against Tom Tiffany, representative from the House of Representatives out of the 7th District, the congressional district there. And she gets up there. Now, she's trying to backtrack on some of the things she says, but the Republicans are just bringing that all up and go, no, but you said this. Now you're saying, so you lied. You know, and that's what they're going to do, and the Democrats know this. The Democrats know it. There'll be a lot of backpedaling made by the socialists and Democrats on positions that they said. This will come back to haunt them. And I said this way in the beginning. This is going a little bit differently to the point where I thought it would go, where you've had to have special elections now, you know, because the races were so close in the primaries. But I think after, you know, August, the fighting's going to begin. And you only have till October. Early voting. And you're going to be getting a lot of these people that are going to be going out there and get the early vote out. Get the early vote out. Tip the scales. Even though they're not supposed to announce where it's going, they're going to say, look, this is, you know, all going to go to the Democrats. Why come out and vote? This is going to the way it's going to be. And that's normal stuff. I like the fact on, you know, that there is such a division inside the Democrats' own party over the SAVE Act, over voting, that most Democrats polled 80%. Say we have no problem with, you know, polling and ID and you know, and such. And you know, their own party going, no, we don't want that because, you know, well, why wouldn't you want that? Because you could then do mail-in ballot and it has to match your numbers on your card and you get a confirmation back and you got to say yes, and then you could vote by mail, you could early vote. What's the problem? Well, we know what the problem is. We know what the problem is. There's always in these paper ballots, hey, I found them hey, look, we just found a whole bunch of them. You know, and could that happen? Yeah, sure, that could happen. Does it happen way too often? I mean, you got to ask, what happened to 34 million votes? You just got to question that. Let's see who this is. All right. At least you didn't call me this time. You only texted me. So that's what's going on in the in the Democratic Party, is this huge division. And I mean, you even have Harris, who says, I haven't really decided whether or not I'm going to run, in the DNC going, well, we've decided we're not going to back you. Well, there you go. Where's she getting her money from? And she still never accounted for, what, $600 million? So, and, you know, the idea where, well, Trump's numbers are down. Trump's numbers don't matter. I mean, the idea that they keep throwing that around is like he's running for election again. He's not. He doesn't care what his numbers are. Where you should look at Trump's ability to go in and get people elected that he wants. Now, he's failed. He supported Pam Everett in South Carolina. That didn't work. That didn't work. He is supporting Darlene Graham, the late Lindsey Graham's sister, who's filling in until election, till January, and supporting her. And the problem is, who is she? What's her platform? What is she going to do? Where does she stand on key issues that her brother stood on? And new issues coming up. Is she a team player? I mean, the Republicans have to ask that. I have to ask that. Is she a team player? We don't know. Whereas who's running for that position is also Russell Fry, and who is who sits in the House of Representatives. He's running on the out of the 7th district, congressional districts of South Carolina. You have a lot of people running for that seat. They don't stand a chance. Maybe Russell Fry and Norman stand a chance. Darlene Graham stands a chance. I mean, she's got the president's backing, but there's a lot of people who, all right. Now, the Graham name goes all across South Carolina. People in upstate South Carolina might have heard of Russell Fry, but don't know him. The people of the Low Country might have heard of Ralph Norman, but don't know him. You have people like Mark Lynch, who's also vying for that. Mark Lynch, he had a shady past that he actually, he comes out and says, "Hey, listen, I was arrested. I did this. I did that. I did my time." I don't like the idea, but he has a right to run. I never liked the idea of putting in, the wife of a person, who, a senator or whatever, and they can do that. They can put them in the seat, the governor. I just don't see that being a really good idea. Again, if you were to take, and I did like Ralph Norman. His problem is he's 77 years old. Do we want another Mitch McConnell? Mitch, great guy, But do we really need this where we have a Russell Fry who's doing a good job? He's younger, has some backing. I like him. I've met him. I've spoken with him. He's a down-to-earth guy, feet on the ground, and he supports President Trump's administration, as does Ralph Norman. Mark Lynch, not so much. Pam Everett did. Nancy Mace, but these people all now, they had their shot. It's not going to happen. My question is, if Darlene Graham wins, can she win against a Democrat, a strong Democrat? Now, there really is not any strong Democrats that are really running in the idea of a Democrat winning the Senate seat in South Carolina, even if we don't like Darlene Graham. We like Russell Fry, but who's going to take Russell Fry's spot? So when these things happen like they happen, you got to start questioning what's going on. Hey, if you're looking at this and you're seeing things tilted a little bit, it's because of my camera angle. I readjusted everything, didn't really do a good job. So these the Republicans have their primary issues that they have to contend with, but they're on a much easier base. It's easy. The slope uphill is not ridiculous. Where it's with the socialists, they got an uphill battle because they're going to be against Republicans and they're going to be against the Democratic base. I don't think you're going to turn many of the Democratic moderates into socialists. Not when she's saying, well, I don't want well, I'm talking about Hong now out of Wisconsin. I want to do away with Thanksgiving. I want to do away with the police. It's just so radical that most people go, "Ooh, easy does it." And I think she's going to run into a huge problem of credibility when she has to really, when the shoes hit the pavement. Rubber meets the road, We could use all those little sayings. But she's going to run into a problem when she has to go against real politicians who are going to use facts and questions and giving her answers she can't possibly answer because she's never did the job. So this should be an interesting, today, of course, is for South Carolina and Wisconsin. And most of the other states are ready to go. And, everyone's away right now and we're still, summertime. But come September and October, that is it. Now, if in the beginning I said the RNC should be all over the place, just battling, throwing dollars out there and getting it out there. But now stepping back, hey, no, let the Democrats spend what little money they have on positions that are not defendable by most Democrats. Go have at it. Because, and I've said this on my other podcasts that I've done, voters just have about a 30 to 60 to 90 day memory. So why say anything that could just be brought back up and rehashed? Let the Democrats do all their speaking and everything. Because come September and October, you're going to hear it from the Republicans going against them. And you progressives out there, we're going to have people sitting in town hall meetings too, asking questions, pointing out things. So my guess is that the socialists aren't going to hold many town hall meetings. They'll do webinars and things like that, and they'll go to fundraising events that are already geared for them. And the idea of them going to a debate, they'll do a debate after early voting. Whereas the Republicans are going to go, no, we want the debate before early voting. So you have what they've said and what's going on. I think that Democrats are finding themselves in a really tough position that they created. You created this position. You created this problem. The division inside the Democratic Party will be their undoing. Schumer will be gone after the election. Win or lose, he's gone. Jeffries, gone. Now, if the Democrats lose, which I know they are going to lose, they're not going to take the House, they're not going to take the Senate. That's crazy talk. But who are they going to replace these people with? They're going to be radicals, leftists, not even progressives, because a socialist is not a progressive. These are all little splinter groups inside the big tent, which is crazy. The Democrats have to take their party back and go, like I said, you want to do that? That's on you. I'm going to bring in the union members. I'm going to bring in the workers. I'm going to bring in these people. I'm going to bring in the military people. I want a strong America. I think they're going to have to realize that voter ID is going to become a reality. I think they have to get on board that immediately. Immediately. No face saving, just saying that, after careful consideration, we've looked at this and we can get on board, because there have been modifications made by those sponsoring this that they could go, we got the majority of what we needed down, and now, let's go. Let's go. And they could take a win on that. Because most states are actually doing it already. So it's not hard for the Democrats to just sit back and go, I get this. I understand where states have the right to control elections. I get that. I'm with that. I understand where the concerns are, but it's just an easy place to get to and put that behind them and move on to the bigger pictures. And I think they're going to be caught in this stuff. And my prediction is after a Republican win, you're going to see Doge come back big time with exposures. And why do you think that they have Vance doing all that? Why do you think? Why do you think that's Vance's job? Because when he exposes that all and goes through and this is what this president was saying from 2016. And now, in 2024, to this date, look at the fraud we have found. And it's systemic. It is built into their political system. What do you think is going to happen? The Democrats know it. Democrats see it coming. And it's not only blue states. There are, I'm sure, plenty of red states who are now going over their books and looking and will expose stuff before they do. We shall see. But that is my prediction. And I stick to that. I stick to that prediction. The Republicans are going to stay right where they are. They're going to hold the majorities, and the Democrats are going to then realize we got to throw the socialists out of our party. And the Civil War has started. The Civil War has started inside the Democratic Party. And they just got to get there and realize it. You saw what happened in Maine with Plattner. And I said that when this guy first started coming out. I'm going, what are they thinking? This guy has so much garbage behind him, he'll never make it. And I was absolutely correct. They should have ran the governor who wasn't going to run anymore and put her in there. It would have been an easy win. She already won the state. It would have been an easy win. Now Janet Mills has to, fight a little bit against Susan Collins, two strong women. Yeah, and Janet Mills was, she was tossed to the side by the Democrats. Now, they come hat in hand. And the guy that's taking his place there, who was a big Plattner rah-rah guy and knew all this stuff. Now he's running, and he goes, no, see, I was behind him. Yeah, you knew, and you kept your mouth shut. And that will all come out. That will all come out. All right, this has been going on for 32 minutes. I appreciate it. This is all I'm doing. I will talk quickly about President Trump. I'm upset with Trump on Iran. We got a peace deal. We don't have peace. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be terrible. I'm going to blow you up. No, now we're going to hug and kiss. Now, it's best not to say anything. And they know it, and they're playing him, and the Democrats are also part of the problem in not supporting the president and ending this. And just telling Iran, we now have Democrats and Republicans together. You either come to the table or we blow the table up. You got a choice here, but that choice is fleeting. And the thing that really has to happen is we got to take Karg Island. And either we take it or we level it. Keep their oil fields, we can't do anything with the oil. There's no place to ship it to. There's no place to get it out of your country. And literally blockade the coast. And, they shoot a missile, then you start taking down oil fields. We put troops on the ground, we secure it. We don't take it over. We're not taking your oil, but you're not getting that oil either. And we start taking over fields. And the money truly, truly stops. And then we get, we're going to have to put boots on the ground and take sections and liberate them. And have the military turn against the military. And that's the only way it's going to happen. That's the only way it's going to happen. Did Trump misplay this? Don't know, because we didn't know what the plan was from the beginning. So I can't say it was misplayed, because I don't know what the plan was. Iran needed to be dealt with. and we're dealing with them. And I think that's a good thing, but it wasn't going to be one of these 6 weeks wars that he had said. It doesn't work that way. They had 47 years to arm themselves. You think that was just going to go away? So, all right, everyone. Be safe, be well. Not so sure I'll do a show tomorrow on Wednesday. We'll have to see. I actually will do a show because we'll have winners in South Carolina and we'll have winners in Wisconsin. Could go back to doing so. You know what? I am going to do a show tomorrow. Might be a quick show. You can see I'm feeling a little better. I got other issues now going on, which makes the sniffling not and everything else not seem so bad. So, please give to a charity if you can. Give to a food bank if you can. Say a prayer. Always say a prayer. Prayer does work, no matter what a Democrat might tell you. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know. I'm going to just put this reel out there real quick. And everyone, thank you. And we'll catch you tomorrow as I fade to black.